The Coonass Podcast is intended for adult audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
In the bayou, you gotta get down in the mud to find the good stuff. It's dark, it's dangerous, and we don't give a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Coonass Podcast. Yes, we're going to go over what the hell is going on with the gas and with the oil and with the pipeline. What's going on? Why are these bastards trying to take our good oil from this country? I want to drive. So without further ado, Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Coonass Podcast. Boy, good Monday to you. And yeah, as our title states, pretty much pipeline dreams with a hacking budget. We're going to go over this stuff on the fly, of course. On the fly, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get right into it. We're just going to get right into it. I'm not even going to just play around. We're going right into this, okay? So let's just do it, okay? So let's get on with the show. So, top U.S. fuel pipelines remain days from reopening after a cyber attack. Now, this isn't your normal cyber attack. We're going to get into it. We're going to go over a lot of information about this. This is kind of up my alley in a little bit, if you don't mind. But pretty much this group, and we're going to name Dark Side, and we're going to go over it in a second. And for all of those who are joining me, thank you for joining. So excited to be here, guys. Please, whatever platform you're watching, please tell everybody about the podcast. I mean, I really do a lot of work for this. I want to do this for y'all. I don't get paid to do this. I just do it. Not like all these other, smash the likes and all that shit. Man, fuck that shit. I just do it. So that's how we go here. All right. So, America's biggest gasoline pipeline will not resume full operations for several more days. Now, we know what that means for you, ladies and gentlemen. More money to pay at the pump. That's just the bottom line. More money to pay at the fucking pump. We already, look, hey, hello, Kimberly. Nice to drop in. Thank you. Thank you for the hugs. We already pay, the price of gasoline is already gone up since our new administration has taken office. And it's no secret that our new administration does not like oil and gas. And we're going to get into that later. But we don't need to pay more. We don't need to pay more. Things are already not going as great as he thought it was going to go. Okay? So let's just continue here. So, this group is called Dark Side. Right here. Dark Side. Let me highlight that for you so you can check it out. Dark Side. Okay? A group to be believed based in Russia or Eastern Europe. Well, actually, I'm going to prove that's not the case in a second. I think it's more in Serbia, that area of the world, and we're going to go over why in a second. Ransomware targets computers that do not use keyboards in the language of the forward. Pretty much that's not the case. They said if ransomware targets computers that do not use keyboards in the languages of former Soviet republics. We're going to go over that in a second, what that means. Just don't worry about what that means. Just it's a different type of language, okay? So our goal is to make money and not creating problems for society. Yeah, right. Okay, so that's the group's name, the group statement issued by the group. Our goal is to make money and not creating problems for society. Well, first of all, I don't know if you're saying that in another language. I hope you are, because your English sucks. Okay? It should be our goal is to make money, and we do not want to create problems for society. Whatever the hell you want to say it. Bottom line is, you suck. You suck. Okay? You suck. I'm just going to say it. You suck. Now, the ransomware is a type of malware. So if you don't know what ransomware is, a type of malware, it locks your computer I've had this happen to me before, and what it was like. Okay, so the most common one that used to happen a few years back was like, say you went to a site, let's say a website that has a lot of malware in it. You know, these bogus sites that you look up. I don't know. Say you want to buy something, and you go to a site, and it used to be the one where it would hack your camera and show you a picture of yourself, and it would say like, "Oh, the FBI is gonna get you," and it takes a picture, but really what it does, it just hacks your camera to make you feel like you're doing it, and you got to pay money to get off your computer. Where all you have to do is delete it. I mean, a lot of people paid for it, but a lot of people, that's pretty much what this is. It's pretty much shut down your computer unless you pay a ransom. You know, so the Deputy National Security Advisor for Cybersecurity told reporters that the Biden administration is not offering advice on whether the colonials should pay the ransom. Well, it happened on American soil, dipshit. So you know what? You should be in action. Say, don't pay the fucking ransom. We're gonna catch these motherfuckers. That's what you should be doing. But whatever. Okay. So pretty much the episode laid bare to the vulnerabilities of energy infrastructure. Guys, I'm gonna show you a map in a second how vulnerable we are. But guys, listen. If you don't think the energy sector is not going to be targeted after this, you better hold on to your ass, because guess what? You will. If you work in the energy sector and you watch this, you better be ready, because this is just the beginning to the shit. So, oh, get off of there. Ransomware has gone corporate and gotten more cruel. Pretty much, this is like legit shit right here. Okay, so. Dark side operators are just the latest group to adopt a veneer of professionalism while at the same time escalating the consequences of their attack. Guys, these guys asked for like billions of dollars, on this attack. I mean, it's like nuts, okay? Okay, so we created Darkside because we didn't find the perfect product for us, reads the launch announcement. Now we have it. It's a line. I mean, look, it was a startup. It was a fucking startup, guys. But Darkside is no startup. Actually, it was, It's the latest strain of ransomware built to shake down big game targets for millions, with the attacks being that are couched in an uncanny air of professionalism. These guys know what they're doing, okay? The era of the professional hacktivist, that's a professional hacker, is here, okay? It is here. It's been here for a while, but now... this attack, someone who's been, I guess, in this kind of era since he was a kid. I mean, I grew up watching the movie Hackers. I kind of was a little hacker myself when I was growing up. I mean, not like this, but this just legit, man. These guys, I mean, look. They potentially grabbed at least $7.5 billion from the victims in the U.S. alone in 2019. Or ransomware attacks. Dude, billions with a B. That's how much money they're extorting off these fucking people. And they know they're going to pay it. What they do is they find the, like a billion-dollar company. And say, oh, they can spare a couple million because they don't want it getting leaked. What they do is they're going to target someone they don't want the shit getting leaked. That their shit went down, because if that's the case, then what's going to happen is they're going to lose reputation, so they pay them. That's pretty much what happens. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you guys do your research on this, these motherfuckers here, they're not to be played with. These guys here are getting hosted out of Iran. Out of Iran, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are being hosted out of Iran, they found out. Okay? Now, who else is Iran friends with? They're friends with Russia. I'm going to tell you this, and we're going to get into these people in a second, but I read some more information that they believe that these people, the language they're using is Serbian and like Baltic, which would coincide with the Iran thing. Okay, it's crazy. I mean, these guys are legit. I mean, they're, oh man, just crazy shit, guys. Okay, you just got to pay attention. Yeah. So pretty much, this is what they do. So, replace dark side operation and internal restricted list after the threat actors announced plans to host infrastructure in Iran. So these guys, like I said, they're excuse me for a second, ladies and gents. I gotta check something here. You know, I gotta always be healthy. I forgot to give all the health updates. So yeah, I always give you all the health update, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's okay. I'll just say it's okay. I'm not gonna pretend like everything's great, but I'm checking my heart rate right now. I want to make sure we're good to go. Stupid watch. There we go. All right, we're good. Always good. No, I always gotta check stuff. You know, I hate having my heart stuff and Crohn's, but it sucks. But alrighty, back to what we're talking about here. So anyway, when the dark side ransomware operation encrypts a network, their affiliates steal unencrypted files, which they threaten to release it if a ransom is not paid. That's pretty much what this is, guys. Not good stuff, okay? So it plans to host infrastructure in Iran. From what I last read, they are in Iran, and they're in the Baltic states and Serbia and Syria. That's kind of where they're located. So, you know, there are probably some Russian connections there or whatnot. But these people here, Kaspersky Lab. Now, these guys are like they sell antivirus, internet security. These guys are pretty tough. These guys are the ones that found DarkSide. They're the ones who found them, and they're the ones that like go after them pretty heavily. You know, they're out of Russia. So I think Russia has a big problem with them, but now they're coming more on the state side. You know, I don't think you guys realize what these cyber attacks can mean. They got into D.C. They got in the archives for the police department in D.C. These guys can literally get all this information anywhere. I mean, guys, the reason why I'm talking about this on the podcast is because these hacktivist groups, these are no joke. These hacktivist groups are like legit. And these guys can get any information and exploit you. I mean, they're not going to come after me or you or whatever, but they're going to go after like large corporations that you do business with. And guess what? Cost of business goes up because they have to deal with these kind of people. So guess what? Apple as well. I'm going to talk about Apple in a second, James. That was another group. That was they begin with an R, but that wasn't DarkSide. That was another group. They just hit Apple. So these hacktivist groups are like popping out all over the place. I mean, guys, these, you know, if you don't have, look, I'm not gonna pitch no product here, but I'm just gonna say if you don't have any virus at least or something on your computer, you better have it, you know, because if not, this can get really bad for you. I would not recommend you ever going online without malware or antivirus. In fact, get yourself a VPN. You know, use a VPN browser if you can. That would help you out a lot. You know, trust me. But anyway, so malware guys, and I'm gonna go over these. These guys are the ones that found Stuxnet. I don't know if you remember Stuxnet, but it was a worm virus in 2010. I remember it was in Microsoft, and oh my God, I remember this was the one that it went after Iran. They used it to fuck Iran over. I remember reading about this. They were not happy about this, but you know, malware really started to really go on the rise. Like when it says 2010, maybe a little before then, like 2008, if I can remember. That's when malware started rising. At first it was viruses, and then this malware. And I remember everybody had to get the malware. It would fuck your computer up. I don't know if you remember that, ladies and gentlemen, but I remember that. You'd have to get like 4 different malware programs just to make your computer run like normally. It was horrible. I hated it. Was like, I think it was like Windows Vista back then, or yeah, it was Windows Vista, and it was shit. I mean, so you had a shit operating program with a shit malware program, and your computer would take like 10 minutes to turn on. It was like 1980 shit. It was horrible. It's just horrible. I mean, god damn, I do not miss those days, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. But these guys are pretty. They're pretty good, man. They found the vulnerability in the Silverlight. I remember that Microsoft Silverlight shit. That was they exploited the hell out of that. I remember that. Look, I'm not gonna get into it, but you might be wondering why I'm bringing up this hack. Well, let me show you why. If one pipeline can be exploited, all of these pipelines can be exploited. I want you to see something. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at the concentration of pipelines in this country going to the arms of this country. Look at this. Look. How hard? Let me ask you something, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to look at this map, and I want you to realize how easy would it be to shut down California. I want you to think about it. Look at this map. Look at this map. Look. Right here. You could cut. California does not have many arteries when it comes to oil and gas. And guess what? They're still dependent on it. I don't care what you hippies say over there. You are dependent on this. We're all dependent on this right now. There is no major alternative deals unless you own a Tesla. But even if you own a Tesla, you still are dependent in some way, shape, or form on oil and gas right now. And look at this. Look at this, how it can be cut off. California can be cut off. Guys, look. The Northwest, look at this. The Northwest ain't nothing. You can cut them off quickly. You can cut off, you can cut off all the, you can pretty much draw a line right here and cut off the western part of the country pretty easily with a coordinated attack. Now, that's not cool. That's not cool, okay? I want to show you this because there's another reason. These guys, these dark side guys, they did something that you do not realize, okay? I've done some extensive research, and I found this. They, in essence, have shut down major airports. If this pipeline, this is jet fuel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Colonial Pipeline, okay? Notice where it goes. Raleigh, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, all the way up to New York. Literally could shut down major airports. Atlanta International Airport, Houston International Airport. Look at this. Nashville, Birmingham could shut down pretty much the East Coast. It could probably shut down the East Coast if you really looked into it. I mean, look at it. Okay? Now, let's take a step back. We're going to take a step back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the actual Colonial Pipeline. Yes, I found this online. So a guy named Sam Whitehead, Public and Government Affairs Manager in 2012. Here's some information about this pipeline. There's a lot of stuff you need to know about this pipeline. So number one, major refined products pipeline. So these are pipelines that have I guess the black ones. These are all major refined products. So these are it's not just crude oil. It's jet fuel, it's fuel. All these pipelines go through the country with this. And these are the arteries of all these pipelines, okay? So this is the Colonial System Pipeline, okay? Check it out. It's 5,500 miles of pipeline. It has 29 refinery connections, okay? These are the connections that supply people with gasoline. 267 customer terminals. Okay, these are also areas customers can get product. It serves 100 million gallons daily. It's delivered 100 million gallons of product is delivered daily, and it serves 50 million people in the United States. Okay, look at that. Look what it does now. It goes now. I'm not going to, let me see if I can zoom this in. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so y'all can check it out. So we can look. Look, Houston. It starts at Houston. It goes through Port Arthur, Goes through Lake Charles. Remember a couple of these places I named. Lake Charles, Opelousas, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then Alliance, Louisiana, per a little artery right here. But then it goes through Mississippi, Macomb. But just remember about the Louisiana. Just remember this Louisiana area. We're going to go over that. But remember the shape of this pipeline too, ladies and gentlemen. This is important as well. Goes through Collins. Collins right here, if I'm not mistaken, is a major place. Like Baton Rouge and Collins, when you see these little breakout tankage, these are your storage areas, okay? So just, goes through Port Barry. Yeah, I see that. It goes through Port Barry. Yes, it does. James, it sure does. But guys, look at this. Look where it goes. It goes through Alabama. And then it gets to Atlanta, and then it goes to Nashville. It goes to Knoxville. And it goes straight to the Nashville airport. It goes straight to Hartsfield Airport. I mean, think about that. These pipelines go directly to international airports. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But these literally go, you know what? No, we're not going to answer that. Can't answer that one. These go to major airports. Look, it goes to Raleigh-Durham. It goes to Greensboro. Directly to Dulles. It goes directly to Dulles Airport. Think about that. It goes to Fairfax Airport. It goes to It goes to some very heavy-hitting airports. I don't think a lot of you realize that. 17 states, James. You're right. James Ford, 17 states. Yes, look at this. And I'd be willing to bet if I pull up blue, red states, I bet you'd get an interesting thing going on around here. But we're not going to play that game tonight. There's another reason why I bring this up. So look at this. 50 million people, pretty much the East Coast. 45%, guys, and I don't know if it's in this presentation, 45% of the nation's oil on the East Coast goes through this pipeline. 45%. If you don't think that's going to make an impact, it will. Guarantee you. Check this out. Let me check it out. Okay? Now, largest refined products pipeline in the United States. It was founded in 1962. It's been operational since 1963. It delivers 16% of all overall U.S. refined product demand. Gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, heating oil, military fuels, similar products. It connects the Gulf Coast refineries to the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and northeast regions of the United States. Let me go back to this map. When I showed you this hub, look at this hub. This is a hub of oil right here, ladies and gentlemen. Oil and gas hub is Texas, Louisiana. Okay, that's been like that for years. It connects up here. They don't have much up here. Okay? It connects to 7 major airports. Transfer service to 3 in New York via Buckeye Pipeline. So not only is it going to mess with the airports on the East Coast, it also messes with the 3 major airports in New York. Wow. And New York City. James Ford states the president declared emergency for 17 states. Hell yeah, it will impact everything. It's very interesting, guys. Very interesting what's going to happen here. Okay? It also delivers to 5 U.S. military installations from where up to 10 additional bases are served. Dude, that's a lot of bases. That's very interesting. Okay? Very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting what this all affects. This pipeline was specifically chosen, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Okay? I'm also going to show you why the governor came to the state of Louisiana, too. I'm going to show you that in a second. Look, guys, I don't believe in coincidence, okay? I start digging and I try to find the facts. Now, Koch Industries. Shell. This is who owns it. Do your research. Not going to get into Koch or Shell or Industry Funds Management. Don't even know who owns that. So anyway, do yourself a favor. Take a look. All right. South Atlantic states depend on the colonial for liquid fuel supply. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. And look at this. D.C. Washington, D.C. Greater than 70%. 70%. This is going to shut down those states in red. Straight up. It's going to shut down those states in red. It's going to shut them down. And that's a very interesting location. That's all I'm going to say there. I'm not going to get too much into that because, then you get into conspiracy theory. James Ford, again, 82nd Airborne relies on the pipeline and the Rangers at Fort Benning, Georgia as well. That is correct. Guys, again, look at the location. This is a very interesting area. What might be shut down, okay? Okay. Colonial delivers over 70% of the liquid fuel supply to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. Okay. Northeast has alternate sources from Northeast refineries and access to barge support. South Atlantic states have limited alternate supply. I mean, this is James Landry. How you been, man? Nice to see you. I heard in BR they were talking about an Exxon expansion. Some of you may just be rumors, though. Suddenly maybe, probably so. I'm gonna get into that. It's interesting. It's very interesting. You talk about that. There's something I'm gonna show you in a second that kind of might explain that in a second, and why the president came down here. But we're gonna talk about that in a second, guys. Just hold your horses. We are getting there. But it's important to know about this coastal pipeline. We have to go. There's a lot of good information on here. Okay, so pretty much the South Atlantic, they're screwed. I mean, this is not a good situation for them, okay? So this is the, I guess, the North Carolina. It kind of shows where it goes in North Carolina. And, it kind of tells you what kind of stuff in North Carolina. Kind of shows you how the pipeline works. I mean, we're not going to get into all this, okay? And then they kind of and then it kind of shows you how it sequences, what they use and all that stuff, how they do it. So pretty much they do ethanol, renewable diesel, all that stuff. Talk about their capacities. Now, okay, so they have their protecting the leak detection department. Look at all those computers. Now it's been changed, no telling. Now they are they're showing kind of like how they main terminal. James Ford, main terminal colonial is Pelham, Alabama, which let's go back on the map here. Sorry about this, guys. Let's see that on the map. Let's okay. So Pelham, Alabama, which is in the middle. This is their main area right here, what James said. Okay. This is their main area. I want you to look at this. Let's talk about this map for a second. I mean, this is kind of a very interesting map, very detailed, and man, it's amazing. It's just amazing how this really can really cause some havoc. All this stuff, shut down. But again, guys, I don't believe in coincidence. I really don't. I mean, this was strategically picked. I mean, and you can go into conspiracy theory. You really could with this, but I'm not going to for the sake of this podcast. I do think that. I mean, you get the one call monitoring, the data tools. So it pretty much just, now. So why I show you this? Well, because this is the plantation pipeline, guys. Okay? This bad boy runs parallel with the Colonial Pipeline. Okay? Notice where it starts. This bad boy starts in Baton Rouge. Okay? And is linked. Actually, hold on. I'll let you look at that, but I'm going to do this real quick. This guy, so this guy starts in Baton Rouge. I think it goes further. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull a different one. Okay, yeah. Let me pull this. Let me pull this guy up. If I can get this picture, man. See, I want to get these pictures. I try to find the best ones for you guys so you kind of see what's going on. But it's like, it's just a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? But wait, this might have both. Let me see. This one might have both. No, it doesn't. But I did find something interesting. Petition for declaratory for Colonial Pipeline Company. I should a little deep digger on this. Very scary of the vulnerability we have allowed ourselves getting over the years. James Ford, absolutely right. The fact that they were able to get to this grid, it really, okay, here's a good picture. Here's a really good picture because it has both pipelines. If I can get the picture. There we go. All right, let me move this bad boy. No. Yeah, we go. All right, let me move this bad boy over here. There we go. You see that? Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. God damn it. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So, the blue and the red. Okay, so the blue, if you go to this picture, the blue, and let me find that picture again. You see that? So this guy here, the red, is your Colonial Pipeline. Right here is this guy here. If you go back to the map, right here. And then the blue, the guy in the blue, is this. This guy. Your plantation pipeline. So, let me ask y'all something. After seeing those two pictures, why did the governor of Louisiana meet with the president of the United States this week or last week? Anybody know? Anybody have a guess? Would you like to know? Well, this is what I think. I think your boy Biden knew about this shit way in advance. And obviously he did. He made a deal with this shit here. Because here's the thing. The plantation pipeline is now going to have to dig the bulk of the Colonial. Which tells me that this situation is worse than what they're saying. That's what this tells me. This tells me, just by looking at this information, that this is shit might get really real. And I really didn't want to say that, but it's true. And am I still live? Can somebody please, talk in the chat here? Because I'm frozen kind of on this deal on the streaming monitor. Notice he shut down the pipeline to Canada. Yes, you're right. You're right. He sure did. Guys, there's more to this going on than what is being said. Okay? More than what's being going on. I mean, this is real, guys. This is, and just give me a second. I'm trying to pull up my dashboard here. But let me know in the comments if I'm still live and streaming nicely. Because if I'm not, then I'm not gonna be a happy camper. But I should be. It says frame rate and all this stuff. So let me know in the comments, please, if you can. Unless I've frozen already. But anyway, yeah. So So it's called control. Yeah, we're going to get into that. But here's why. This is why, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. My governor is at odds with Biden over oil. Okay? Dipshit here wants to shut down oil, and my governor doesn't want that because he knows about jobs. So what did he do? This was in February. Okay? So now, governor, he probably came to talk to the governor saying, hey, Mr. Governor, look, we're going to need some more oil production from Louisiana. And because he ain't going to go to Texas to ask for this. Because remember the political parties. And remember this. Remember, where's the map? Hold on. Let me find the map. Remember this map. Okay? Remember this map. Here. Look at this. Look. So, check this out. See, I didn't get to play the map like I wanted to show y'all. Look at all. These are all accidents. These are the maps of pipeline accidents. Okay, but look, you see the pipelines. Okay, look how dense it is right here. He's not gonna get it here. Okay, they're pissed off at him over here. Okay, Texas ain't gonna help him, but Louisiana will. So he had to come here to get our help. I know that's too many. Okay, James, I get it. Okay, we know. But point of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, look how dense it is right here. Look up here. Look at that. Louisiana is about to bail out this country because of the plantation pipeline, because of this guy here, and I'm willing to bet I'll even go further to state that they're probably going to tap into the strategic reserves. The 2 strategic reserves in Louisiana. I'll be willing to bet that's going to happen. Okay? Now, here's what I want to ask you people. All my fans, all my people that listen to the Coonass Podcast. I want to know from you. Is this planned? Was this something that, I don't know, maybe the president decided, hey, you know what? Let's wag the dog a little bit. Let's wag the dog a little bit. Let's see if we can make a problem. I just find it kind of convenient, that a so-called possible Russian hacktivist group shuts down the largest pipeline in the United States. And listen, first of all, why are these pipeline controls connected to the internet? Why? That should not happen. That shouldn't be. That should not be at all. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? We shouldn't. These pipelines here, this shit here, where is it? This shit here, there's no way this should be connected to any outside sources except for its own internal network. Okay? There should be an internal whatever internal network just for the pipeline. Okay? It's possible. Okay? I know it's possible. It's definitely possible. Okay? Why is this connected to the internet? Okay? Why is it that these people don't have internet security, like the top shit? If you transport 70% of the South Atlantic states, then why in the hell wouldn't you have a protection here? Now, James Ford, it was stated that they would go after water treatment plants. Let's look that up. Okay? Dark side to go after water treatment plants. See, we do this on the fly. No, not seeing they're going to do it. But this is also Google. I'm going to have to literally probably change my my browser to look up some of this stuff on the fly. But we do what we do, okay? Now, the second question I have is this. Okay? So we just looking at this map here, and we have somebody that knows on the podcast right now in the group that knows a lot about, let's say, the military bases that are involved with this pipeline. It makes me wonder the timing of it as well, being that we've moved people into certain areas of the world. Don't know. I mean, we are going into and let me pull up the Google. Let me go pull this up. Navy to go to the Serbian Sea, I believe. I think that's where we're going. Go to news. Let me see. Look. Here we go. Serbia, get the ball. Proposal. Well, anyway, it's hard to find this on the fly. But point of matter is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have, you have the jet fuel thing. I just find that so interesting that it just boom. Look, here's a good plantation. See, there's the red one, is the plantation pipeline. So you see that? It goes straight to Washington. Somebody gonna need his fuel for Air Force One. He went go talk to our governor. Hey, partner, I need you to help me out. I know we didn't get along with all that other stuff, but hey, that's what it is. Okay? So guys, that tells me the president, look, and let me get back to my normal image. Let me go to scene 2 here. Okay. So guys, listen up. What did we get from this, all this information? Number one, okay, this is a lot worse than what they're telling us. Okay, this is for the president to come down to Louisiana. He knew something was up. He's not, and to make it like, oh, I'm going to go talk about Lake Charles. I'm going to go talk. That's BS, okay? That's BS. I'm telling you, this is a lot worse than what they're leading on, okay? Number 2, the timing of it. I think there's a shuffling going on. Okay? Shuffling going on. That's just my opinion. But I'm gonna be watching this very closely. Now, there's a couple other things I want to talk about, and we're not gonna touch more on it, but I want to go back. Well, you know what? We're going to wait on that. We're going to wait. I'm going to have another podcast this week. In fact, I will have another podcast this week on what I want to talk about in my head. There's something in my head I want to talk about, and I want to talk about it a lot, but I want to have a whole podcast for it because let's just say we're going to talk about the vaccination special that everybody watched. I saw some things there that I actually took notes. And I want to have a whole podcast just on these notes I took because I found a lot of things interesting. But back to this, guys. We are still dependent on oil and gas, whether we like it or not. Whatever you believe, we're still dependent on oil and gas. That's just how it is, okay? And here's the bad news. The bad news is if this might be the beginning, okay? This might be the beginning of something like, okay, we're going to shut this down, and then we're going to shut this down. Like I showed you here, and let's go back to these pipelines here. And I'm going to go back here. Look, right here, guys. This guy, look, easy. They could have cut off half the country, but they didn't. They went here. They're targeting a specific type of person. You understand me? And they're targeting D.C. They targeted our capital. These people targeted our capital. So If you don't think the United States government is not involved in this with the negotiations of this hacktivist group, you got nothing coming, because they are. Okay? So, with that, guys, it's that time again. I want to thank y'all for joining me. And like always, just don't be a shit.